Multiple federal agents have reportedly been arrested for tampering with evidence to keep Lil Durk behind bars, an act that may now lead to his full release and even court-ordered compensation. The truth was uncovered after key conversations between Lil Durk and the late King Von were submitted as evidence, revealing a massive web of lies, cover-ups, and coordinated effort to sabotage Durk's freedom. Now, as the world watches, Durk awaits a final court ruling that could change everything, not just for him, but for the entire justice system. Please do not forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to this channel if you want more updates like this. Thank you. Now, let's get back into the video. Let this sink in for a second. Lil Durk, one of the most scrutinized artists in hip-hop history, may have been the victim of a calculated effort by government officials to keep him in a cage. And now, the ones behind that plan are the ones locked up. What was once brushed off as another rapper caught up in street life, narrative has been flipped on its head. This is no longer just about gun charges or old cases. This is now about corruption, conspiracy, and vindication. Lil Durk, who's been sitting behind bars fighting multiple criminal allegations, has just received the biggest break in his case, one that no one could have predicted. According to sources close to the court, an internal investigation has led to the arrest of several federal agents who were directly involved in handling Durk's case. Their crime? Tampering with case files, hiding exonerating evidence, and intentionally distorting communications between Durk and witnesses. The most damning part? A buried conversation between Lil Durk and King Von. A conversation that was never supposed to see the light of day. So let's break it down. Durk has been sitting in legal limbo for months. The system had him painted as a repeat offender, a violent threat, and a man too dangerous to be free. Despite his lawyers presenting strong arguments for bond and fair trial proceedings, the court always came back with the same reasoning: insufficient trust in the integrity of the evidence. But what if that very evidence was doctored? That's exactly what an anonymous whistleblower hinted at when they leaked information to Durk's legal team 2 months ago. It started with a tip, an off-the-record message that suggested some files in Durk's federal case didn't line up with the original timestamps, chain of custody, or metadata logs. At first, Durk's lawyers thought it was a glitch, but what they uncovered next was beyond anything they expected. Durk's legal team began digging, working with independent forensic analysts to review every single file, recording, and transcript that had been submitted in court. That's when they found something missing, a conversation between Lil Durk and King Von that, by all accounts, should have been a centerpiece in the trial. This was no ordinary chat. It was a heartfelt conversation recorded months before Von's passing, where he explicitly cleared Durk's name in relation to an alleged gang hit. Von was heard saying, "You had nothing to do with that, bro. I told him that myself. I kept your name out of it, like I always do. They trying to build something that ain't real." Durk responded, "They gon' try to pin it regardless. I already know. But long as you keep it real, they can't touch me." That conversation was never entered into evidence, never mentioned in court, never shared with the defense. It was scrubbed. And guess who scrubbed it? The same agents tasked with collecting and processing evidence in Durk's case. According to reports, 3 federal agents from a special crime task force in Georgia were arrested late last night after internal affairs investigation confirmed that they willfully removed audio files and manipulated key documents related to Durk's arrest. Surveillance footage from evidence rooms and IP logs from government-issued devices show that the agents accessed and altered Durk's files just days before his initial arraignment. Their motive? Still unclear, but insiders suggest it may be tied to higher-level corruption, personal bias, or even deals with rival informants. Some even speculate that individuals in the music industry may have had influence, aiming to keep Durk down while other artists rise. Once the truth came out, Durk's lawyers filed an emergency motion demanding a review of the entire case. The court granted it, and then everything unraveled. The FBI had no choice but to admit internal wrongdoing. The Department of Justice issued a statement calling the actions of the agents a disgrace to law enforcement and promising full transparency moving forward. And the judge overseeing Durk's case, who had previously denied multiple bail requests, openly acknowledged that had this information been available earlier, Durk's legal situation would have been entirely different. Right now, Durk is still in custody, But that could change any day now. Legal experts say he has a strong case not only for release, but also for compensation due to unlawful imprisonment. If the court agrees that key evidence was maliciously withheld or tampered with, Durk could walk out with a clean record, and potentially millions in damages for time lost, emotional trauma, and defamation. The hip-hop world is watching in stunned silence. For years, fans have debated whether Durk was really the street demon the media portrayed, or just another black man caught in the system's crosshairs. Now, those same fans are rallying behind him, chanting #FreeDurk across every social media platform. Twitter's on fire. Instagram is flooded with posts of Durk smiling from older pictures, with captions like, "He always knew," "Justice for the real," and "They couldn't break him." Even unlikely voices, journalists, activists, and former critics are now demanding justice for a man they once judged. And what about King Von? His name is being spoken in a different way now, not just as a fallen soldier, but as a key witness, one who, even in death, helped uncover the truth. People are saying Vaughn saved Durk once again, not with violence, but with words. That conversation, that file, that missing piece may be the reason Durk breathes free air again. And let's not ignore the bigger picture. If federal agents can do this to someone with the fame, power, and money of Lil Durk, what are they doing to thousands of unnamed people locked up without a voice? This case is setting off alarm bells across the country, with watchdog groups now calling for a full audit of the task force responsible for Durk's arrest. Civil rights lawyers are demanding reform, and people are beginning to question how deep this corruption really goes. This isn't just about a rapper. This is about a system that silences truth, that destroys evidence, that targets people based on race, fame, or silence. Durk may become the face of a new movement, one demanding justice, transparency, and accountability. And when he walks out, don't be surprised if he doesn't head straight to the studio, but straight to a press conference with lawyers, civil rights activists, and maybe even politicians standing behind him. Still, nothing's guaranteed. The court still has to rule on the updated motion. The compensation will have to be negotiated. And Durk, though relieved, is still mentally recovering from the emotional roller coaster of betrayal, isolation, and rage. Sources say he's taking it 1 hour at a time, but feels blessed that the truth finally came to light.